So you've acquired your first multifamily property. That's awesome. Now it's time to fill the building with tenants and keep them happy so that you can sustainably maximize your cash flow and your return on your investment. Much like any business, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to ensure that everything with the property is running smoothly. Stick around because in today's video, I break down everything you need to know about property management for multifamily real estate. So property management really is as simple as it sounds in terms of what it is, right? It is the day-to-day managing the affairs of the property, the tenants, the leasing, the renewals, the maintenance requests, the renovations, the upkeep of the property. It is truly and realistically dealing with everything contained in the property. Now let's take an example of that. You've got a 100-unit apartment complex. The property management team is responsible for the overall implementation of the business plan on a day-to-day basis. They are responsible for working together with tenants, both on rent collection and signing renewal of leases and signing in new leases. They are responsible for overseeing the maintenance and upkeep of the grounds and the units. They are responsible for taking care of the maintenance requests for the apartments, and they're responsible for a positive quality interaction with the tenants because, again, the tenants are residents. This is their home. And so it's important to have quality property management in place so that you have satisfied tenants for successful investing. Well, let's talk about just the various and key components of property management. Well, first and foremost, it's listing, marketing, and showing apartments. Your number one goal is to have the property filled with quality residents paying the maximum market rent for the product that you're offering. And so that comes by listing on apartments.com and some of the other websites that fund or fill to the internet. And that's where people are looking for apartments nowadays. Now, it also entails being able to follow up with those leads that come in from the internet. You've got to follow the pipeline. I mean, for us, we actually monitor that within our apartments and our property management teams to ensure that they're following up on the leads. And then now, once that follow-up happens, they're showing units. Now, when COVID hit, we actually went to a virtual ability to show apartments. We'd have apartments take all the photos of the property and then also photos of the actual unit. And then the on-site team could share it with them digitally. Now, we've continued to keep that digital aspect alive because that makes it more convenient for people. It is the marketing of the property. There has to be an ongoing marketing. You can't just put up a single ad and set it and forget it. You have to be sensitive to what's going on in the market, what's going on in the submarket, what's going on with competitors around you. And so it's, again, for us, we're making sure that we're doing a market survey every month to ensure what's going on with the surrounding communities and our competitors, and how are we positioned at being able to offer a quality product at the right price for residents. And then it's managing the leasing process. And it really is a process. People, first off an email, or then they fill out a web form of inquiry, or they fill out a call center line where they call into the property. And that has to be, fielded, answer their questions, arrange for them to come to the property. They come to the property, you show them a tour of the unit, and then engage them in the leasing process, and then ultimately getting them background checked for, their income verification, their rental history, no evictions. All these things are critical, credit check, and having the minimum standards necessary so that you're ensuring you're getting a good residence. Then from there, once they move in, it's a collecting of rent. And collecting of rent is a key component. I know you or I would be like, yeah, man, the rent's due on the first. But you know what? That's not always the case in a C+, B, B- property, that sometimes it is delinquency exists and you have to go out and collect the rent, meaning knock on doors. I know in one of our team meetings, we were talking about one of our team members is going to a project to assist all of the knocking on doors and collecting of rents. I mean, that's just the reality of what has to take place. And then additionally, there's the managing of the maintenance. That's critical, right? On most properties, you come in on Monday, there's some cleanup that has to happen. People have left, snicker wrapper or gum wrapper, or just there's miscellaneous different things that need to be cleaned up. Managing to make sure the maintenance team's doing that, making sure that your contracted vendors like grounds maintenance are doing an effective job to maintain the property so that it looks good. And then also making sure your maintenance staff is then ongoingly answering maintenance requests from residents to make sure that they're being done in a timely way. And then overall supervising the overall employee teams. If it's a small community, a lot of times 100 units, it's just a manager on site and a maintenance manager, right? If it's bigger community, 150, 250 units, then you end up having, a manager, assistant manager, or leasing agent, senior manager for maintenance, and then an additional assistant person. So again, it depends on the size of the property. And then ultimately keeping the residents happy. You've got to handle any complaints. They got to make sure everything's in compliance legally. And then overall, just handling anything else that's going on at the property. And again, not making light of resident satisfaction. That's ultimately keeps costs down because residents stay longer. Let's talk about some of the tips for retaining quality residents. And I use the term quality, right? You may not want to retain everybody. If somebody is a constant late payer or they're not a quality person for the property, it may want to be that you don't want them to renew the lease. But for the quality tenants and the quality residents that you do want to retain, amenities are critical. You want to make sure you have good amenities at the property. You want to make sure that the property has been maintained well. You want to make sure also that your management team on site is providing good customer service and they're providing good relationship with the residents. Now, what we do to make sure everybody stays on their toes, we have a firm that comes in and does what we would call a secret shopper, meaning a physical person, just like myself, shows up. The first they call, hey, I'm interested in this apartment, can you tell me more about it? They get the feedback. They arrange to set a time to come see the apartment. They come out. They show up at the property. They inspect the grounds of the property. They drive around, look at everything. They go into the leasing office. They say, hi, I'm Randy, and we spoke on the phone about looking at an apartment. And they go through the entire process, meanwhile grading the performance of our on-site team so that we can get an honest and objective third party that then gives us that feedback. Now, not everybody does that. Like, we do it because we're willing to pay for that, because now we've got intel that we can share with our team so that they can improve in their operations and improve in our operations. Property management is so critical because it has such a direct impact on the performance of your investment or your asset. And so when you're hiring a property management firm, you need to understand, we always get references from other owners, right? I want to talk to current owners and previous owners that this firm has managed for. We also find out about what are the procedures or internal layers that they have to ensure the success of their team members. What type of support do they provide on site to ensure that their on-site team is going to be successful? And then what kind of requirements do they hold for the on-site people? Because look, you can have a great company, but a bad person in the seat or an unqualified person in the seat. If that's the case, you're going to struggle, right? Because this is a people business. So you need the right people in the right seat in order to succeed. I'm here to keep you informed so that you can make the best decisions when it comes to investing your hard-earned money. And I've created a free guide to help you on your real estate journey. Click the link below to check it out. That's all I have for you folks. If you've learned something today, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content on real estate investing, and we'll see you in the next video.